Hey guys, I am currently waiting for Isabel to get out of gymnastics and reading through a couple of DMs and stuff, getting caught up. One thing that I have gotten asked the last couple weeks, I guess, is if I am still planning to homeschool now that I have kiddos going to actual school. And the answer is yes. So I have 4 kiddos, if you are new here. 2 of them are going to traditional school. 1 of them will be homeschooled preschool at my house, which is like the thing I've always homeschooled, preschool homeschool. And so then 1 of them's a baby, not like doing school yet. So I have the 2nd and kindergartner who will be at school, and I will be doing preschool with my just turned 3-year-old. She turned 3 in June. So, she, when they're like 2, we don't really do much like letter learning. I do a lot of colors, shapes, vocabulary type work and counting and that sort of thing, but not like traditional preschool. Like once they turn 3, I start working more on the letters and the numbers. So the first thing that we did, and we actually just did it earlier today, as we're kind of like in this back to school kind of mode. But I do a preschool evaluation and it looks like this. I sat down with her and I took a piece of paper and I put 2 pieces of paper actually, and I put it on either side of like the thing that I was trying to quiz her on, and we just went through little by little, like, do you know this color? Do you know this letter? Do you know this? And made checks, and that way I could kind of see exactly what we need to work on this school year. I will link that evaluation. I'm going to make it a free printable on my website. So I will link that in the description below if you want to use it to do an evaluation for your little preschooler. But that is where I start. Then, if you have seen anything of my channel, I do themes, weekly themes, where we kind of learn through a theme. I like to do fun play-based learning. I, again, will put in the description a playlist of my homeschool videos. I have videos on just like how to homeschool in general. I have videos on lesson planning. I have videos on our routines, which have changed over time with, you know, different kids, and if I'm doing 2 at a time versus 1 at a time, that sort of thing. I have videos on my themes. Like I have tons of videos, and I will link the playlist of those videos in the description in case you want some examples. But in general, like what I've just finished doing is making my theme calendar and basically what we're going to do this school year. So I typically do 52 weeks in a year and then make a plan for every single week, because when it comes to homeschooling, I just like to be consistent. I like to always be doing something, whether it is like this summer, for example, we didn't do a theme and we took it easy and we just did like countries and geography and culture studies was basically like what we did. So with some reading, and we used Love Every Kids, but I have video of that. If you go to that playlist, you can find it, what we did this summer. So I will then like put in all the dates. You can do it in Excel. You can literally write like the Monday, August, whatever it is, and then do the next week that Monday, and you can select them and drag that down and it will automatically populate the 52 weeks for you. Anyway, I then go in and I make my off weeks. So a traditional school is like 36 weeks. So if you want to do that, if you are homeschooling in place of actual school, like say kindergarten or 1st grade, you want to make sure you have 36 weeks. For preschool, you can be a little bit more flexible. Again, I typically like to homeschool through the summer too, because they like learning and doing the fun activities. So I do summer themes usually, although I'm not sure we're going to do that this summer. We really liked our culture studies this summer. But anyway, mark my off times for my holidays that we're going to be off, or if we're taking a trip, I mark those off. A lot of those coincide with my older girls at school. That's how I did it this year. And then I fill in like what I want to do for language and for math. I focus on those two. Everything else kind of comes from the theme that we're doing. So that comes from the evaluation that I just showed you. So I will look and I will say, okay, she knows the letter S really well. We do not need to spend a week on letter S. We can save working on letter S for a review week. She knows her name very well. We don't need to work on that. Or she doesn't know her name at all, which Rosemary really doesn't know anything about her name. She can't really recognize it. So we need to work on her name for several weeks, 5 weeks. And I'll write that in there that we're gonna do first name for the first like 5 weeks of school. And then I do the same with math. Like we're gonna cover basically one number a week. She can count her numbers, but she does not really have much number recognition. So we're gonna cover basically one number a week, and then we'll have like 1 through 5 in a review week, 6 through 10 in a review week, and then a 1 through 10 review week. Maybe we'll talk about the number 0 for a little while. I want to work on patterning a bit and reviewing shapes. She knows her colors so well. I do not need to focus on that at all. I learned in the review. There's a couple shapes like rectangle, oval, those that we do need to cover. And then I do the same for letters. Like I said, I put those in my language and do that. I then go back and do my theme. So I will say like, okay, the week before Christmas, we're taking Christmas week off, but the week before, let's do a Christmas theme. We're taking Easter week off, but the week before, let's do Easter. Valentine's week, hey, let's do Valentine's Day. I'll throw in those easy themes there. Then there are some themes that locally we have activities for. For example, in October, we have a fire department near us that hosts a huge celebration or like fun thing for Fire Prevention Week, which is in October. And so I always do a fire safety, or sometimes do a fire safety week that week, and then end it by going to the firehouse's like fun thing. So I'll plug in any local things. Space Week is another one. There's always like a National Space Week. If you are into sharks, like if you have a boy, I haven't had a boy, so I haven't had anyone like super into sharks, but if my little boy, when he gets preschool, is in sharks, we're gonna do a Shark Week coinciding with when Shark Week is. But I do that sort of thing. So I plug in themes based on season, based on holiday, based on specialty. This year, actually, my 3-year-old, she is super into bugs and like being outside and eating. And so a new theme I have never done before is going to be picnic. We're going to do a picnic theme this fall and do like ants and bugs with learning how to do table settings and manners, and we're going to work on patterns, because don't you just picture a pattern when you think about a picnic? Like a pattern, like I do. We're going to learn foods. Like, so picnic theme is going to be it new this year. And I will, if you want to see what our themes are this year, I will post them again to my freebies website. I think I already have some on there, but I will post this year's new. And then changing this year is typically I always do like a Bible or religion of some sort. We like to add that into our homeschool. I am not this year. So that is new, and that's because I now have more learning aged kids at school than I do at home. And I want all of my girls to be doing some sort of religion study. So we are going to start doing a like kind of Sunday school or Bible school type thing at home on Sundays, rather than adding it into the actual homeschool. And then instead of that, I'm going to add in Spanish, because we have been using a Spanish program over this summer that my kids have just loved so much. And they're like 5-minute daily lessons. They're so quick. They're immersive. They're play-based. It's a program called The Cultured Kid. I have talked about it before, like on Instagram and these videos. I will link it. I have a $1 7-day free trial code that you can get if you want to check it out. And then also, I think there's a back to school promotion coming up. So if there is one, I'll link that promotion in the description too. But adding that instead of religion. And I think that's it. I think that's about the update for what is going on with preschool and preschool homeschool. Again, if you are like, what the heck? Check out my homeschool playlist, because it has all kinds of information, mostly free. I do not like to spend money on curriculum and that sort of thing. I just don't have the capacity for it. So if you are looking for some free resources, check those videos out. They will be so helpful to you. I promise. It will be worth your time. I am happy to share what I have gone through the past several years and give it to you and help you along with it. Of course, my website has like kind of what we're doing. Of course, those have been like different for different ages. Like my oldest has been the most advanced out of all of them. And when she was 2, she was like learning letters. Neither of my other kid were ready for that at 2. My current 4-year-old turning 5-year-old going into kindergarten, she knows her letter sounds now, but she is not quite reading. Whereas like my oldest one was reading at 4. So they've all been different. And some of my lesson plans you'll see, you're like, you look at it and you're like, a 4-year-old doing that? Like yours may not be, because mine have been different. One of my 4-year-olds were, one of my 4-year-olds wasn't. It's just all kids are different. So take what you like from mine. If you're looking at mine, leave the rest. It does not offend me. But hopefully it can be helpful to you. So hope that answers your question on what's going on preschool homeschool wise. I will have several like back to school type videos coming forward. And you can kind of see what our setup is going to be and all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully this answered them though. And I will see you next time. Bye.